Hey everybody, Brad Gilmore here, back with another Spotlight review talking about 2024's Bad Boys Ride or Die. Still think it should be called Bad Boys for Life, and they should have flipped those titles around, but nevertheless, I gotta tell you and be honest, walking into the theater to see this movie, I had zero expectations. I liked the last Bad Boys movie. I thought it was okay. It didn't blow me away by any means, but the chemistry between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence is pretty undeniable. So walking into this one, I didn't have any expectations, and walking out of it, I was thrilled by what I got. My wife and I went, we laughed so hard, unexpectedly, throughout this whole thing. I think Martin Lawrence really brought it home for me. Martin, we haven't seen in a long time. He's kind of been in and out of the spotlight, but man, did he bring it in this movie. And I was worried at first. There's a great opening scene in a convenience store, which really made me think, oh, we're going to go there. This is going to be great comedy from Martin Lawrence. Then there were a couple moments to where it felt like he was putting on a caricature of himself, but then instantly that worry that I had was gone. He found the comedy. Will Smith found the comedy. And really, their chemistry is what sells this movie. You've seen the story before where, you know, somebody is framed for something they didn't do, and now the good guys got to go out and prove his innocence. And in the meantime, the guys you thought were your friends weren't really your friends, and the people who are the enemies, people don't realize they're the enemy. We've seen it before. We've seen it 1,000 times before in different movies. But what makes this one different is the two leads. What Will Smith is able to bring post-Oscars moment, you're worried about him. It is undeniable. I'll be honest with you. I still was thinking about it when I saw him on the screen. Even though I feel like he's atoned for it, we should move on. But it is in your mind, which leads me to say there's a moment in this movie toward the third act, which I feel like was in reference to that moment and was hilarious. There's also a couple scenes that are scene stealers. I don't want to give anything away, but if you're a fan of the franchise and you've seen all 4 movies and you're aware of the characters, there's a scene in here that made the theater I was in erupt. I mean, some people were standing up after this scene went down, and it really was so much fun. So I will say that out of the 4 Bad Boys movies, I rank this one number 2, right below Bad Boys 2, which I just feel like was hitting on all cylinders. They'd already established the chemistry. It's early 2000s. It's just balls to the wall the whole time. But this one, man, this one's all killer. I think the first act was strong. It got to be a little bit slow in the second act, but by the time you get to the climax of this movie, where the big fight is happening, you're all the way in, and you're ready to see the Bad Boys do it just one more time. And that's my question. This movie left me wanting to see a 5th installment of this franchise, a franchise that is almost 30 years old and that I didn't realize I enjoyed as much as I actually do. So if you're looking for something to really kick off the summer movie season, Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, Bad Boys Ride or Die, a solid recommend from me.